Okay, so what I want you to do first, we're gonna do two things with this, but on this first one, on this little triangle right here, what I want you to do is just to shade in just the corners, okay? So just shade in like this. Shade in here. And shade in here. Okay, now after you get that shaded in, what I want you to do is to cut this triangle out. Cut it out as nice and neat as possible. This one where we just shaded in the angles here. Cut this triangle out. Cut it as nice and neat as you can, please. Right, so you should have something like that. So what I want you to do now is we're just going to tear those corners off. Okay, you don't cut them, just tear them off. So what I'm going to do is just take it, just rip this corner off like that, rip this corner off like this, and rip this corner off like this. Okay, I'm going to take this part and just set it to the side. I don't need that really. So what I want you to do now is to take these three angles of this triangle and I want you to set them where they are adjacent to each other. Line them up where they're all adjacent to each other, where they're just all right next to each other. Like this. I love it. Nice and easy. Okay, so whenever you put these three together, what do you notice happens here? What happens when you stack all three of these angles next to each other? What's going on down here? It's a straight line, right? And that's not by chance, okay? That's not by chance. So the three angles of a triangle, when I put those together, how many degrees is a straight line? 180, okay? And it wouldn't matter what type of triangle we did this with. If we had an obtuse angle, obtuse triangle, and we took these angles like this, and we laid them next to each other, they're always going to make a straight line right here. Now, if there was only two angles that made a straight line, what would we call those? Talked about it a lot. So if there was just two angles that made a straight line, what would we call those? A linear pair. So this is not a linear pair. This is like a linear what? Like a linear triple or something like that, okay? So the angles of a triangle are always going to do this. If you take them and stack them next to each other, it's always going to make a straight line. Always make 180. Okay. Now, we're done with those, so you can set those to the side. Now let's look at the other part of our warm-up here. Okay. So what I want you to do now is I want you to take that thing and I want you to cut it out like that along the dotted lines. got it as nice and neat as possible. Okay, now as we look at our vocabulary from yesterday, that's what I've got up right here. Okay? What does that look like that we've got cut out here? Okay, if you remember this from yesterday, we talked about remote interior angles where we had this right here. Okay? So from our vocabulary yesterday, that's what we're looking at is remote interior angles here. All right, next thing I want you to do is I want you to number the angles like this. Number 'em 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, and the next thing I want you to do is to lightly shade in 1 and 2 like this. We can still read 1 and 2. Okay, so you've got angle 1, 2, 3, and 4, lightly shaded in angle 1 and 2, and then the next thing I want you to do is to do this right here. Just tear off 1 and 2. Just tear off angle 1 and angle 2 like that. Okay, so what's going on here is angle 4 is the exterior angle. Obviously, it's the angle on the outside of this triangle that we have going on here, okay? So angle 4 is the exterior angle. Angle 1 and angle 2 are the remote interior angles. Remote like means away from, okay? So angle 1 and angle 2 are on the other side of the triangle away from angle 4. So what I want you to do now is I want you to take those two angles that you tore off and try to fit them in different places and see what you can figure about angle 1 and 2. What's going to happen with angle 1 and 2? How do they relate to one of these other angles here? So just take angle 1 and angle 2, just move them around, try to fit them in like a puzzle piece. Try to fit them like puzzle pieces into somewhere. All right, so there is something that's going on here with these two. What is it? What can I do with angle 1 and angle 2 here? Okay, so he said line them up on 4, and that's exactly right, okay? So let me show you the next step here. So this is it right here. So see that? If you take angle 1 and angle 2, some of you have already got that, some of you didn't quite get to there, but do that right now. Take angle 1 and angle 2, put them together on top of angle 4. So what do you think is going on here? What's true of angle 1 and angle 2 compared to angle 4? That what? Okay, they fit together to be 4, right? So what's happening here is that angle 1 and angle 2 together equal the measurement of angle 4, right? Or we could say angle 1 plus angle 2 equals angle 4 here. So that's exactly what's going on. All right, one more here. And it's this right here. So see how angle 1 and angle 2 together are equal to angle 4. So the two remote interior angles are equal to this exterior angle, which makes sense because if you think about it, okay, angle 3 and angle 4 right here, what type of angles are these? They're a linear pair, and what do I know about linear pair? They add up to 180, they're supplementary, all right? And from what we did just a second ago on the other ones, what do I know about these 3 angles inside of the triangle? What do they add up to? They add up to 180. So if 3 and 4 together add up to 180, and then 3, 1, and 2 add up to 180, I know that 1 and 2 have to be the same measurement as angle 4, okay? All right, so we're going to use that fact as we work through our stuff for today.